Well, hello, everybody. My name is Conor McGilligan. This is the Rumour Mill. What is going on in your world? Apologies for the chaos there when it comes to my mic. Sometimes, guys, I'm working on a brand new system. It is OBS, and honestly, I've not been working on OBS for a long time. So occasionally you'll just get it where it just decides to cut out, and you're like, oh, okay, great. Fantastic stuff. Cheers, OBS. And normally it's when I'm live and I test everything beforehand as well. So severe apologies for that, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. I don't really know how this is going to go. I think it's going to be fine. We'll get through the news, everybody. We'll get through your latest bits and bats as well. It just might be slightly irritating when it comes to when it comes to actually getting the technicalities right. But guys, honestly, I'm happy I went off stream there because the words I was using for this laptop, for everything that was going on now, I don't think were repeatable online, especially if there's young children watching, which I know some of them do. So listen, appreciate all you guys sticking by. I don't know what's going to happen with the algorithm now. So do us a favor, guys, lads and lasses, please rank those likes up, because what normally happens is when you put a YouTube video out and then you put one directly after it, the algorithm attacks it and it thinks you're doing something suspicious. So the only way you guys can help me out is just racking those likes up. I really appreciate it. Apologies again for the earlier stream. And as you can see, we had about 1,000 in the building, and now we've got about 350. But thank you lot for sticking by. Morning, Connor. How are you, mate? Yeah, all good, man. Apart from that, apart from this morning, it's been good. I have got my coffee. Don't worry. All good though, mate. Yeah, pump it up. Don't you know? Volume go. Yes. Don't you know? Bump it up. The volume's going up. I know, guys. It's been good. This has been, as you can see, the systems are good, but I have to open about 8 different programs every single morning. I'm bringing data packs through. I'm streaming myself. I'm making sure everything's perfect. And normally I'm quite good with technical things, but this morning I just wanted to through the screen. So we're back. We don't like violence anyway. 25 minutes, I'll never get back either, Tom. So give me a chance to order dinner. Lark says, morning, Connor from Melbourne, Australia. And yes, I did hit that like button. Thanks, buddy. We had a good laugh whilst you were gone. Yes, I could see the comments flying. You lot always rinse me when stuff like this happens. So I appreciate that one. I have a funny feeling you might be doing a few extra vid this week. So signings are coming, baby. That's it, Ross. We're loving that, mate. Gotta love the chat, don't you, Con? Mate, I love my chat. My chat is extremely funny. They are actually very, very funny, and you're all legends as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Morning to everybody in the building. Hello, 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 Connor. We love you. Please don't change you. Makes your channel unique. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if it does, mate. Sometimes I'm thinking you are a bone idle moron, but Connor, mate. So, yeah, and many people would agree with that. But let's get on to today's news before we waffle on for too long. Noah Sadiki. Okay, latest news around the Gilets player. Leeds were pretty much, it felt like, after the Diarra conversation anyway, and we'll just move on from Gudmundsson there. We've got Stacky Boy there, but we're going to talk about Sadiki first. Now, it felt very early on that the Diarra replacement was always going to be Noah Sadiki. We felt that it was going to be like, when we're talking about shortlist, Sadiki was going to be that second option. There was other players like Mehdi Kamara who came onto the list. It feels like this guy is getting further and further away from Leeds United. It also feels like potentially, weirdly, Sadiki could maybe be on the same level, if not better, in terms of reputation than Habib Diarra. There's comparison of his stats going around a little bit earlier on, and you were looking at incomparable games. Obviously, it's different leagues, of course, and some would say Ligue 1's higher, Ligue 1's a better standard. Sorry, well, obviously Habib Diarra at Strasbourg. But this guy is demanding a high fee all of a sudden, and from an area of which we were looking at Noah Sadiki and thinking this is going to be a cheap deal. We are going to get the better edge of the deal. A very similar player, similar age, good age, Soccer when it comes to Habib Diarra and Sadiki. But it feels like Sadiki now is getting a little bit of a bidding war going. Brentford are apparently ready to up their bid for the midfielder, and now there is a new club in the mix. It is Robin Koch and Rasmus Christensen's very own Eintracht Frankfurt. So they're apparently in the mix right now for Sadiki. They're very keen on the player. We know obviously he played Europa Conference League last season as well, but apparently he's very, very keen on playing Champions League football, obviously, which we know Frankfurt are in. So yeah, Yeah, I don't think Leeds are going to get this one done. To be honest with you guys, it just feels like the competition is too much. It feels like when you look at that market value as well, of which is probably going to rise because potentially Brentford and Frankfurt might get into a little bit of a bidding war. I don't know if we're going to be part of that. It's very dependent on what happens here. It's very dependent on what happens with Leeds United in the next couple of days. I think it's going to be a really, really busy next week for Leeds United. Make sure your notifications are switched on, everybody, because we're going to be going live at probably points that you don't expect. We didn't go live last night for Bornau because we'd already done a massive live stream for 40 minutes on him, which you guys loved. I think it's on like 19,000 views now, so you can go back and watch that. We tried to talk about the detail of him as well. Detail, Donald Trump. So make sure you check that out, everybody. That is on the recent videos on the channel. But it just feels like this is the guy who we're going to maybe pass by, which is a shame, But as I say, when you do a bit of a deep dive on Noah, maybe it's just his passing side of the game of which I'd be a little bit concerned about. However, his box to box play is very good. How he covers ground is exceptional as well. He would fit. I'm just trying to think of some of these players in the because I think Farker is going to stick with the 4-2-3-1. That's what I think is going to happen. I'd love him to move to a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 at points. I just wonder how we're going to go about this with someone like Noah Sadiki. I wonder if you go to a flat midfield 3, which obviously I'd like. If you go into especially like 5 at the back at points, if you go compact and have a like midfield 3, all very, very glued together, you become a very, very good defensive outfits that could be in-game management as well. But I am so encouraged. I have to be honest. The players that we're talking about, lads and lasses, the players that we're talking about, the players that are on this list, I honestly feel if we get some of our targets, I think Leeds, if we genuinely get some of our targets, and it's a huge if because there's twists and turns when it comes to this window. But for some of these targets, when you're talking about Anton Stach, you're talking about Yahia, we've got him through the door. We're talking about, Lucas Perri coming through the door. You're talking about potentially Rodrigo Muniz, Igor Pejao, players of this level. If you're able to get players of that level through the door, we could be talking about Leeds in potentially 16th, 15th, 16th place. And that is dizzy heights for Leeds United right now. I just think the quality of player that we're looking at and the profile is so encouraging right now. Bornau coming in, I'm happy on that. I am happy on that. I think as a rotation defender, been playing in the top 5 leagues for the majority of his career. He's a Belgian international caps as well. He's a monster. It's another monster. All of the back 4 now, I think, are very, very sort of similar in caliber and level. And I just think there is a real level up that Leeds are making right now, and there's a real profile which I'm very excited for, very, very excited for. So yeah, lots to discuss, everybody. Lots to discuss when it comes to it, and we will get onto that in just a little bit. So a lot of people just moving in now. Morning, mate. Morning. Just they probably Diarra supposed to have a bad attitude, maybe dodged a bullet. Yeah, I've not heard that, Martin, yet. Jan says, good morning, Connor. Hi, pal. Ross says, Connor, does it concern you that we're not looking at or even considering English players? I get more expensive, but it does worry me that we're relying on value with the potential risk of overseas players. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Ross. I understand that, pal. I think there will be English players coming in. I'm pretty convinced on it. I think when we're looking at players as well, I think there has been a look at Nick Pope. I think there has been a look at Sean Longstaff. I think there's probably been a look at Callum Wilson as well. I don't think Leeds have just avoided that. I think there's probably been an inquiry or two behind closed doors. It just depends what fits, mate. When it comes to these English players and what you can get for certain value. You forget we've got some obviously English players still in the squad, haven't we? So they're going to integrate with the new lads as well. But I do think there'll be a couple coming in. As I keep saying, I would keep an eye on our boy Sean Longstaff. I'm just gonna let's keep an eye on that one. But yeah. Okay, Gabriel Gudmundsson. According to LeedsUnitedNews.com this morning, Gudmundsson, interestingly enough, has been on holiday. So that's why the stalls, like we had this with Yahia, didn't we, when it came to his wedding. So obviously we've heard a lot about the left back at Lille, how exciting he is, 8 to 10 million quid. He spoke about Leeds and he spoke about the Premier League last week, which was really great to hear, to be fair, because you normally don't get that from a potential new signing. Them actually talking about the division they're going to be playing in and Leeds United as well. Really enjoyed reading that over the last couple of days as well. And obviously it's not sort of verbatim, but he was essentially saying, look, my dad's played there. I want to play in the Premier League. I will be leaving Lille. Obviously he's coming to the end of his contract as well. Leeds are going to be able to get him on a really good deal. They're going to be able to get him on a really good deal. Over 6 foot tall again. I think defensively looks really strong. Only maybe side of his game that needs improving on is aerial duels, which is quite ironic because we've got some monsters in the side now who are all at, when you look at ball now, the 99th percentile when it comes to aerial duels, be all up there as well. So that's the side of the game Gudmundsson needs to improve on, but he's got the stature for it. He looks like very energetic on that left-hand side as well. Some good passing sequences with the left winger who's at Lille, of course. And yeah, I like him. I like the look of him. Looks like he's got a sweet left foot on him as well. So he looks really encouraging. Apparently, he's been on holiday, and in the background, according to like I said, Leeds United News.com, things are now accelerating, according to this source, in the background when it comes to that. And it would make sense, you know, Manor Solomon, which we're going to get onto in a little bit, and Junior Firpo leaving the football club. It feels like now, in terms of just even a PR perspective, Leeds have got to sort of drive that signing now, it feels, because obviously they've got that left back spot now open. Gudmundsson's going to see that as well. You know, the official Leeds United report, you know, Junior Firpo leaving the club. Thank you for all that you've done for us, mate. But now you've got a left back spot and that is yours. I think Gudmundsson's going to get done. I think Gudmundsson feels like it's the next one in. Remember Yahia, we had almost like the calm before the storm. It went a little bit quiet 2 or 3 days before. Before that, it was very, very hot, as has been with Gabriel Gudmundsson, really. It's been very, very hot before that, and it's gone a little bit quiet now, calm before the storm. I think Leeds are gonna, he's my next prediction. He is my next prediction as Leeds United signings. We've got Bornau through the door. I think the next signing is going to be Gabriel Gudmundsson. It feels perfect now as well, like I've just mentioned, with Junior moving on. Now Leeds can officially just say, yeah, look, our new left back, whatever. Nice little PR motive as well there. I do think Leeds need another left back as well. Obviously, Isaac Schmidt's agent was talking a little bit earlier on this week, suggesting that we will find a solution for Isaac, with obviously been a World Cup year. So whether or not that's him playing for Leeds, him being assured that he's going to be a rotation option at Leeds and moving up the pecking order a little bit, or whether or not that's him leaving the club, I think it probably will be the latter. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the comment section below as well. Make sure you get them in, everybody. I'm just going to have a little sip of coffee and let this marinate. Oh, last bullet. What a morning. What a morning, mate. Played paddle and workout this morning. Now here for the stream. Great morning, mate. You'd have missed it earlier on. This is our second stream. So, yeah, shout out to you, mate. That sounds great. Sounds like a great morning for you. Ronnie says, here's a point, Connor. With Stach, does there come a point where links that we are being made to start to humiliate and weaken the recruitment team's position when we never come close? I don't know, mate. I think we're talking about something there where Leeds have, you know, when you're talking about the weakened positioning, you look at Beal as a classic example. That was released very early on, very, very early on, you know, weeks before the actual finalized signing. Leeds made that signing, and of course there was, you know, talk from Fabrizio, Karim Kanar. There was bits from Ornstein as well talking about Beal. So what we have to bear in mind is that can happen, yeah, and that will perk the interest of other clubs, as it did with Newcastle, as it did apparently with Villa when it came to Beal. But Leeds still got the negotiation done. It's very hard to keep it under wraps, and I think the club do release what they want to our local journalists. It's good seeing them get a few exclusives, but they release what they want to our local journalists. But what you get on the continent, obviously, is a lot of these journalists being very, very close with European clubs and some of our clubs as well. So this is what I mean with the breaking of stories a lot of the time coming from the European circuit, and that's why we kind of rely on that quite a bit, to be honest with you. But I don't think it affects Leeds. I think that was a big thing previously. But if Leeds' negotiation team is as strong as I think it is, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. And look, we can release it earlier on, and no worries with that. Let's just get it done. I heard Haaland wants to come to Leeds. Oh, okay, good hearing there, mate. Graham says, like all these rumor links, but the last two signs in the Metro ball now, nobody reporters or anyone got a whiff until they turned up in Leeds for medicals, done in complete secrecy. Yep, 100%. Sporwaticus says Sunderland are going to be without Diarra through their Xmas booty period with African Nations Cup on the 21st. Yeah, good point, mate. Paul says, morning, Connor. Watching for us start loading the motorhome to go away. Shout out to you, mate. Hope you have a good time. Okay, let's move on to Stacky Boy, shall we? So there's been a little bit of nothing too crazy when it comes to an update. Everybody, obviously, Graham Smythe reported last night that it was Leeds United are interested. Obviously, this got leaked from a forum of which we're all very aware of in the Leeds United space. Got leaked from a forum who seems to be leaking everything at this moment in time. Graham then picked up on it the next day. And there's been reports this morning, obviously, when we're talking about Anton Stach, that will cost Leeds United between 13 to 17 million pounds when it comes to evaluation in terms of what Hoffenheim are looking for. So, yeah, I mean, great valuation. We were waxing lyrical about him yesterday and how he'd improve the midfield and the physicality he would bring as well. Once again, 6'4", monster, absolute monster. Yeah, I look at Stach sometimes and I think, would he work in a back three? Just his distribution out from the back, his reading of the game, his high duel rate as well, and just his passing. His progressive passing is off the charts. He's a very, very good player. He's a very good player, and I'm a massive fan of him. And I just wanted to get a little bit of an image up for you guys here, and we'll just find it. And it's just something on Stach that I had up this morning, and it's just him compared to a couple of other Bundesliga defenders. We'll just reduce this a little bit. Now, actually, we'll just bring this a little bit wider just so you guys can see it maybe on the side here. So as you can see, these are just via FB charts. Saw this online, and this is obviously FB data, but this is percentile rank versus midfielders in the Bundesliga. Just have a look at that. So obviously his progressive carrying distance is very decent there as well. When you look at obviously the upper 70s, his defensive actions excellent in comparison to other midfielders as well. Interceptions, his tackles and interceptions, which appears to be a thing with a lot of the new signings. Bornau's tackling, interception, and blocks was very high. Same with Biol as well, extremely high when it comes to that. And Gudmundsson's also high. Ball recovery is high as well. Percentage aerials won, aerials again. So he looks very, very tasty in terms of a midfield option for the top flight of English football. So if we're able to get that done, it feels like it's a needle mover again. I think with Leeds, we are looking at players who, if they are to come in, are really going to take Leeds to the next level in terms of putting these players being top level bracket, not just relegation fighters. Like, I think I've mentioned this several times before. I think Yahia would have fit in many teams in the Premier League. We spoke and we did a stream about that. I think Anton Stach is someone else who, and there's been rumors in January, even in this summer, about all the some of the top 6-8 clubs all interested in him, and apparently inquiring as well to the extent of Tottenham. So, but it feels like now if Leeds are able to swoop and Leeds are able to somehow get this deal done. Yeah, and I keep saying, someone mentioned to me on a video yesterday, shout out, I can't remember who it was. It's like, Connor keeps saying it's the signing of the summer. And it's true. I keep saying it because, like, when you look at, I've mentioned it before, when it comes to the Connor 6 picks, when it comes to if we're able to get Igor in, potential signing of the summer, be all in, potential signing of the summer in terms of the teams that he could play for. But the same with Igor and Anton Stach, like the level is just being raised every time. That's why I keep saying it. And I'm like, I'm not expecting it. But when I see these players, I'm thinking to myself, this is a top level player. And this is why I keep saying to you guys that if you have the attributes, if we spoke there about his ball progression. We've just spoke there about him in the duels. We've just spoke about his intelligence, how he's good with both feet as well. His interceptions, his blocking, his defensive awareness, but going forward, how he's very decent as well. Always looking for that forward pass. What we're looking at here is a profile of player who can simultaneously fit into a Premier League outfit. He's got all those attributes. And we were just speaking a little bit earlier about that English quota and having players who, are English and can fit into the mold. Or should we be balancing that act, really? And we have got, English players, English speaking players already at the club. But if you mix that with some top level players from the continent, Leeds are going to be in a really good spot. And obviously the value for someone like Anton Stach, if he was a Premier League footballer, would be off the charts. And that's what we've got to take into consideration as well. So let me know what you think in the conversation below with regards to Stach, everybody. Are you a fan? I'm sure you are. I'd be surprised if you weren't. Morning, Connor. Hi, Teasy. How's it going? Do you think we'll get any mark? When do you think we will get any marquee signing will take place, and do you think it will happen before the summer? I think we're gonna have a busy few days, if I'm honest with you, TZ. I think obviously with what Daniel Farker said, it's prominent. The kit launch being very prominent as well in terms of it coming out. It does feel like when he's mentioned the bulk, and we know Farker does like to talk, and he didn't need to say that, but he said obviously what's the bulk of his signings in for the 7th, which naturally puts pressure on Leeds getting deals done, because then some may say that there's not enough progress for what the manager wants, and then you can link that to preparation, etc., especially for the Premier League. So I think it's right for the club. And what does bulk mean? You know, what does bulk mean? Does it mean 5 players? Does it mean 8 players? Does it mean 10 players? I don't know what that means. So if Leeds are able to get, let's say, Gudmundsson done, if they're able to get Stach done, if they're able to do that and they're able to do that quickly, that takes our summer dealings to what, 5? I think probably 5 would be realistic. 5 would maybe be realistic before the 7th, I think. But it is quite unrealistic, I think, from Farker to expect every, I don't know what the bulk means, maybe 90, 95% of his sign is done by that, because they've got to fill out the bench as well. They've got to fill out the bench. There's loads that Leeds need to do to bring in, and maybe what he means is the starting 11. And if Leeds are to bring in 5, maybe that is the bulk, because maybe with the, starting 11, they're thinking about maybe 5 or 6 been intertwined with that. So we'll have to wait and see. 17 million bargain, get it done. Big, you know what, FC. Sorry, mate, it's the algorithm. I can't read that out. I went deep into the YouTube highlights last night. And wow, Stach looks like a very mature, reliable player. And even as a 6, everything goes through him. Oh, Andy's put the word in there. My favorite note, my favorite word, metronome McGilligan and a brick wall. He's a beast, mate. He's an absolute beast. So, yeah, very happy with it if it gets done. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Okay, let's touch on this. I think this is a really good comment, and I want to talk on this as well. And this is what it's the 3Ds, isn't it? Discuss, debate, discussion. I want to do this. I want to merge this with the rumor mill all the time. I think that's why it makes the rumor mill unique as well, because we go for such a long time. You guys stay around for the full hour as well, which is mental. The retention rate on these shows is unbelievable, and you enjoy actually having a conversation as well. So I want to be able to talk to you about some of our conversations here. We're going to get onto the rumors. That's going to still continue. But if you are new here, all the regulars will tell you we try talk. We have a little bit of a conversation about some of these signings because we like it. It's putting the Leeds United Premier League puzzle together. It's very, very enjoyable. Guys, what I would say is as well, there's 1,100 of you in the building. We had a failed stream this morning, and basically what happens there is a failed stream. It attacks my algorithm because YouTube feels that because I'm putting another stream up like I'm doing right now, because I wanted to obviously give you guys a room mill this morning. It basically will de-rank my video because it feels like it's suspicious activity. So if you would do me a favor, the way we can combat that is putting comments in the section below after the video and during the video as well. Get your thoughts in, and obviously racking those likes up. So thank you so much for that. Okay, let's get on to this comment from LB. Stach over Douglas Luiz, I presume that is. I like Douglas Luiz. I think my issue with him, and we've mentioned this several times before, the wage is going to be highly demanding, because I feel like this is probably Douglas Luiz's last big contract of his career. So this is why I don't think he'll move to Leeds anyway, because I think it's going to be his last big contract. I think there's going to be clubs who are going to maybe panic with him. I'd even look at Man United panicking with him, to be honest with you, in the base of that midfield. I think it's one of those where you could get a very decent, as I mentioned, a very high level player, as we just mentioned there, and as you mentioned there, LB, or other players out there as well, for a lot cheaper wage, a lot, I think, greater potential. And if I'll be honest with you, I love what Stach brings in terms of a complete player in and around that midfield. He seems very old school, and I don't think Douglas Luiz is a complete midfielder. I don't like his injury record, especially this season as well. I don't like the amount of days he's missed out of first team training. It's a little bit, I understand he wants to leave Juve, but there's something about it when he's gone on social media and he's had to delete comments because of what he said about Juventus. I don't like that. I don't like it. It's just something, I get he doesn't want to be there, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to go on about what he said, but it just doesn't sit right with me. And I just feel like I want mentality monsters this season at Leeds United. I want players to prove themselves, and I feel like Anton Stach has got a point to prove. I don't know if Douglas Luiz has that point to prove anymore. So there's nothing quantitative, really. Luiz is a good player. He's a very good player, but it's going to be 40 million euros plus as well. It's going to be a real high wage. And I think there's just a few things of which I'd be questioning with him. I like him. He's a good player. I'm just not sure about the balance in the midfield with Luiz in there, to be honest with you. And he's effectively missed a full season, really, if we're looking at it. So not for me, but I do understand it. Would you not get them both? Well, you can, yeah. But we've got to think about the dynamics in that midfield, I think, mate. But I do like him. It's just I'm not sure it works. Not sure it works. Shaq got broke up with his girlfriend and lost his head. Kung Fu Kettle, best name of the stream again. Luis reminds me of Rodrigo type signing. We can't sign on names and reputation. It's about the profiles, as you say, Con. 100%, mate. Good player. Like him. 100% like him. I think he's very good at the base of the midfield. I think he can be. I think he's a deep line playmaker, and I think he's box to box as well. So I think there's definitely a versatility when it comes to Douglas Luiz. There's just issues that I'm just not a fan of, and I don't think that'll happen as well. I think his agent is just touting him out to everyone because he doesn't want to be in Turin anymore. So yeah. Okay, let's get on to the next bit of news. We've spoke about Sadiki, we've spoke about Gudmundsson. Let's get on to the next bit. We are going to be speaking now about Lucas Perri. Perri. Okay, there's nothing here really, but we have to talk about it. There is a chartered flight going from Lyon, I think it's to Leeds, Lyon to Leeds, a chartered flight, which not only we're picking up on, by the way, but you've got loads of like foreign press speaking about it as well, and like foreign accounts when it comes to French, and I even saw some Brazilian accounts talking about it as well when it comes to Lucas Perri, obviously with his nationality. But the funniest thing with the Brazilian report was that Leeds fans are tweeting this consistently, and Leeds fans have found this. Like in our WhatsApp group, our Patreon WhatsApp group, it was absolutely popping off last night. Some of the lads, I think Tim was putting in there that I think it was the flight tracker of it. It was like Gudmundsson. He's got his haircut. He's been. I don't know how they knew this, but maybe it was Instagram. He's got his haircut. He's on his way to the airport now. By this date, he'll be in Leeds. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is insane. But there is a chartered flight coming in, apparently from Lyon to Leeds, and there'll be a lot of investigatory Leeds fans, one Leeds, I'm sure, in this chat. But it's something to keep an eye on. I mean, look, when we're talking about this, Baron Cross was discussing that apparently Nick Pope wants to stay with Newcastle now. Now, do we think? I thought yesterday this might be rubbish. I thought it's just a negotiation tool. I think, look, Nick Pope's going to want to come to Leeds. He's got a year left on his contract. Newcastle can potentially save out on the wages, go get another like secondary to James Trafford, and get a little bit of cash for Nick Pope. That's how I thought it was going to go with obviously a year left on his deal. Seems from Baron, and the more you sit back and think about it, obviously there's Champions League football there for Nick Pope. He's going to be playing. I thought, did Newcastle get Champions League? Did they get Champions League? Did Newcastle get Champions? Did they get Champions League? Oh my god, trying to imagine. They didn't, did they? Or did they? Oh, they did. Yep. Sorry, my bad. They did get in the Champions League. Sorry, apologies, guys. I got confused. Remember, Chelsea got there on the last day and they celebrated it like it was a Champions League win. It was just I was thinking to myself, did Newcastle miss out? It wasn't. It was Forest and Villa and Co, wasn't it? So yeah, look. Maybe with what Baron's saying, that's true. I hope that's just going to be because we're early on in the window right now. But I'm really, really, really needing Leeds to get a goalkeeper. We're bringing in absolutely big, what FC, big BFC. I like that. I need a goalkeeper. You guys know how up I am on that position. I think throughout our squad now, I think we've got 4 ready centre backs for the Premier League. Left back's probably going to be concluded very soon, and I think we need another left back as well. Central midfield, that's not moving drastically yet, but I think there's a lot of central midfield options out there. I also think that Leeds United have got a Premier League midfield, even right now with Tanaka and Ampadu. That's my belief. I look up front and I think to myself, there needs to be something done up there. And that's the hole as well, because I don't think Peru is a starter in the Premier League whatsoever. Obviously, Bamford definitely isn't. So we need work up there. We need surgery up there. But I cannot help going on this absolute sort of rhythm that I've been going on for the best part of 5 years now on this channel. You build from the back, and I want a goalkeeper in. Farke was talking about the bulk of the squad being in for the 7th. I think it's so important to get a goalkeeper in as early as possible. Get to know the side, be comfortable, obviously train with the side as well very early on. Just be intertwined with the Leeds United fabric. The goalkeeper is so important in the Premier League. And if you're able to go out and get someone like this guy or someone like Nick Pope, then it'd be absolutely huge. And I'm gonna switch up as well, and we're gonna go straight to this guy as well. Okay, we're gonna speak obviously about Wober, but we're speaking about this guy as well. Akrem Kona, who we mentioned on the channel as well, has said this morning, as of 1 hour ago, Leeds are now ready to open talks with Yahia Fofana. So once again, we're talking about Leeds United and the goalkeeper and getting this spot on. Now, if you'd give me Fofana, if you'd give me Perri, I'm going with Perri. That's what I'm going with out of those two. I like Perri a lot. I think he's outstanding in so many areas, and genuinely, even with Donnarumma in that French league, I think there's a conversation that Perri is a better goalkeeper than him, or has been a better goalkeeper recently than him. Fofana is a very, very nice goalkeeper, though. I would 100% be looking at someone like him. He in terms of like an alternative if they can't get Perri, but Fofana's an outstanding goalkeeper and someone who look, when we're talking about Connor six picks, we dropped him in as a bit of a conversation. But I didn't think anything had come to fruition. I thought, Chelsea in particular will be looking at him as a replacement for Sanchez. I didn't think it'd be Mike Maignan. So yeah, but if these are the goalkeepers that Leeds are looking at, this is, I mean, Ross was saying it earlier on, Leeds United clip, so about the date and getting these players in. If you can move a goalkeeper first, even before a left back, I'd be doing that. I'm just so conscious of Leeds getting a goalkeeper in and having that guy between the sticks and just having him comfortable in the Leeds United building and getting the most important position on the pitch sorted as quickly as possible. Okay. George says, what about Jean Garcia? GK Espanyol, 24 years old, outperforming. George, I think Barcelona are closing on him, mate. Jean Garcia, no, I think he's going to go to the next level, mate. He's what a goalkeeper he is, by the way. Tim says, any updates with GK left back, CF, and 10? I'm late to the party, so I may have missed it yet. Tim, you can go back up to the start, mate. But yeah. 6'2", 6'6" as well. Imagine our back five. Thing is, mate, even if you to get Nick Pope, even if you go in to get Nick Pope. Ross says, that's me on the flight. Just had my first meeting in Lyon. I've no idea if you're serious there, Ross. I know you're a bit of a baller, mate. Connor, what about Stach and Longstaff together? Stach and Longstaff. Potentially. How would you work that midfield, though? What would you go to? Who comes out? That'd be my question on that. What formation are we playing to get them both in? Perri is clear, says Greeny Music. Bean just tweeted on Perri, has he? Right, okay, let's have a quick live look. Sometimes this happens, guys, on the room because we do stuff so early. Let's have a look at what he's saying. Is he kiboshing it, Baron? Let's have a look. Leeds United are pursuing a goalkeeper, and Lucas Perri is one of several names on their shortlist. Brazilian was number one last season. No bids or talks yet. Leon currently in limbo regarding league status for Leeds, monitoring that situation. Okay, Leeds DVN just says, I love you guys on social media. I know who you all are as well because you're all part of the One Leadsers. And one of our One Leadsers just said, I've just sneezed in my boxes, which just made me giggle. Okay, so I'll just get this up for you now, guys. You can just have a quick look as well. Okay, this is what Baron said about the situation. If you were interested. So Leeds are pursuing a goalkeeper and Lucas Perri. So probably Ekram with what he was saying there was pretty nailed on, actually. So we'll just get back to Lucas there. Monaco are also apparently interested, but Leeds are pursuing a goalkeeper, and Leon's Lucas Perri is one of several names on their shortlist. Brazilian was number one last season. No bids or talks yet. Leon currently in limbo regarding it. Yeah, I mean, Leon are going to be trying to sort absolutely everything out, but you feel like getting rid of some key bodies is going to be essential, really, and then bringing funds in. So we'll have to just wait and see on that one. What are you guys saying about that? Fofana made 8 saves versus PSG. PSG. Adonis, are you the actual Adonis? BBC Adonis? How's it going in there, mate? Good to see you in here, buddy. Fair enough, wasn't aware of that. No, Garcia wasn't the goalkeeper I mentioned, mate, a few weeks ago. I mentioned David Soria. Hatafe, not Jean Garcia. No, Jean Garcia is different level, different gravy. Perri landed in Leeds 1.5 hours ago, and I won't be told otherwise. Gary McMenamin, great name, mate. McMenamin, that's kind of like Connor McGilligan. Gary McMenamin and Connor McGilligan. There's a rap in there somewhere, Gaz. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate that, buddy. Okay, let's move on, shall we, to the next rumor on the mill. Max Werber apparently is heading to Werder Bremen. Yes, everybody, Werder to Werder. Werber to Werder. Yeah, apparently, according to Sebastian Vidal, reporter, journalist, aficionado, has said this morning that Leeds are looking to get rid of him for a few million quid. I've absolutely no idea what that means. A few million quid, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, who knows? But I'm kind of expecting 2 or 3 million quid. I think we brought him in. What did we bring him in for, guys? Was it 5 million quid? I think it was 5 million quid. But yeah, it's good to see him go. I think Bornau was naturally his direct replacement. A lot of people were saying, Connor, it's Strauch now who's going out. That may happen, but I don't think that is the replacement. Bornau isn't coming in and Strout's going out. I think it was always Bornau coming in and Verba going out. So I think it's a nice upgrade as well. Thanks, Alan Burston, top man. Thank you, appreciate that. Connor, what about Mikatadze of Lyon as well? Yeah, apparently Sunderland are in for him as well. I'm sick of Leeds versus Sunderland. Is anyone else sick of Leeds versus Sunderland? It was Leeds versus Sheffield United in the Championship on it all last season when it comes to transfers. But what is going on? What is going on? But yeah, it feels like Sunderland are just intertwined once again, using that word with every single signing that we make. So was he 12? Was he 10? Sorry, guys, I've completely just blitzed. Maybe it's because I've just been looking at his reduced market value now. 10 million quid. There we go. So we are going to make a loss on him, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Cheers, Alfie. Thanks, mate. Every club in Europe will be all over Leon's squad they do, and I think Mikatadze is going to be another one of those. I think he's going to be everywhere, to be honest with you. Nicholas Miles says, morning from a rainy York. Hiya, pal. How's it going? Good to see you in here. Connor just thought of replacing Gruev and having a backup. Yeah, Gruev needs replacing. I've just seen a comment a little bit earlier on asking me about Peru. Here we go. Okay, let's have a look there. David, look, all opinions are welcome, mate. Where are you so down on Joel? I presume that's Peru. Chris Wood scored 20 last season. No one can tell me you expected that. Give Joel a go. The old DDD again. I'll be honest with you, mate. So from a tactical point of view, so you kind of look at the style that we're going to be playing, okay? So I think Leeds are going to be playing a bit of a counter-attacking style this season. So there's going to be points of which Leeds United need to play over a press, because I think when you're going to get the likes of Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Brighton, Bournemouth, just even these sort of teams of which we're not talking about the upper echelon of the Premier League, what I think is going to happen a lot of the time is Leeds are going to be pressed right at the back. And I think when you look at the style and profile, shout out Ric Flair, of the players that we're bringing in at the back, I think basically these players, when you look at Gabriel Gudmundsson, when you look at Bornau, when you look at Jacobiol, when you look at all of these players, Joe Roden, as we've seen this season, Pascal Strauk, they all have to be comfortable in a low block. So what I think is going to happen this season is you're going to see Leeds going a lot more direct. Now, what does that mean for someone like Yol Peru? Yol Peru is 6'1". You know, he is when you look at him physically, you think to yourself, right, this guy's got a little bit of something when it comes to holding the ball up. Unfortunately, the stats will back up his ability to hold the ball up isn't great. It's not great. And we know that throughout the season. He's not physical enough. He's not an athlete. He's not quick. So I think how I look at Joel Peru going forward this season is I see him as an impact player. I think the technical level of Joel Peru arguably is Premier League standard. So I think towards the latter parts of games, and obviously him starting cup games, but I think the latter part of games, he can come on and almost work in a little bit of a free roaming role towards the back end of games. In certain games, it's going to be Nemetro over Peru coming on. That's something that people have got to get used to as well. It depends on the style of game, where Leeds are at in terms of that football match. But Peru is going to have to be used sparingly for certain games. That's how we've got to look at this when it comes to the Dutchman. I know he said that he wants to play there, but also what we've got to bear in mind is we've got to strip that sentiment back. I always say this, and I think Leeds fans are getting much better at that. My community is very good at that. But stripping sentiment back, being ruthless, being cold, and looking at exactly what Leeds United need to stay in the Premier League. Okay. Yol Peru, for me, right now, if he starts for Leeds in the Premier League, we are in big trouble, because it completely goes against, in my opinion, the style that Leeds United are going to be trying to play. You need a big guy up front. You know, we spoke about Tieno Barry, who's about to go to Everton. What signing that is, by the way. We spoke about Jonathan David. We've on the channel already. I know he's going to Juventus, but Jonathan David. We spoke about Beto. We spoke about Promise David. You know, we've spoke about all of these players up top. Rodrigo Muniz, who are going to be able to hold the ball up and bring our wingers into play. That is what we need to be looking at right now. Joel Peru doesn't do that. Hence why last season, Daniel Farke went to Patrick Bamford over him, because he was struggling to do that from January onwards. So there is a style of which I think Leeds are looking at right now, and I don't think he fits into that direct style of play. Just is what it is. Miss Tori, hi Tori, how's it going? Is Lucas, the goalkeeper from Lyon? Thought I'd pop by for the latest on the rumours. Also, do you feel Gilavoggi is staying at Leeds but on staff? Pals with our signing, but wearing the kit. To be honest, Vicky, I've not seen it. I've not seen him actually wearing the kit right now. Was it on the signing that you were talking about? Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, okay. Sorry, just getting something more on. Just sorry before this, Victoria. I'm just getting on some of the Leon stuff already. There is a flight leaving Leon to Leeds at 8:45, and he's supposed to be arriving or she arriving at 9:25. So there you go. Thank you. I'm getting sent flight trackers now, so that's great. But yes, in answer to your question, yes, he's the goalkeeper from Lyon. A very good goalkeeper from Lyon as well, be an excellent signing. Guilavogui would be nice, wouldn't it, Victoria? It would be really nice him staying as part of the staff as well. Apparently, he's a very intelligent bloke as well. I don't know if he's taken his coaching badges yet, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, it'd be great to keep him around the place, wouldn't it? As a bit of a cheerleader, with the greatest of respect. Thanks for the donation as well, Victoria. Really appreciate it. From a selfish point of view, I can see this season being horrific to watch from stands. Not very exciting, but if it keeps us up, it will be brutal to watch. 100%. 100%. Who cares? I'm not bothered if it's an awful season. Just let's make a move and stay in the Premier League. Rai says someone made an offer for Thought Patch too. Shout out to you, Rai. Good to see you in here, pal. Okay, let's just have a quick look on how many of you are in the building. We've got 1,300 of you in the building. Shout out to all of you. Make sure you're racking those likes up, guys. We had a dud stream earlier on, and YouTube's going to hammer me for it. So we need those likes as high as we can. If we can get to 1.6, that would be unbelievable as well. Igor Julio, our Brighton man, who we thought was going to be the next one in, or I thought might be the next one in, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like he's going to be picking Leeds United. Now, look, it doesn't make that much sense anyway, if we've been brutally honest, because Igor Julio is a centre-back, is a left-sided centre-back as well. Obviously, if maybe someone like Pascal was to leave, Igor Julio, good passer out from the back. Brighton Hove Albion hasn't really had minutes this season. Monster as well, another one. So maybe on that left side of a centre-back partnership, if Pascal was to move on, Igor Julio coming in would be a really lovely signing. Looks like apparently he has chosen Real Sociedad to go to. Now, him being interested, and Lee's been interested in him in general, could have just been agent talk, could have been paper talk, as we've got to look at a lot of this when it comes to rumours on the mill. A lot of it can just be rubbish, poppycock, nonsense. But Igor Julio has apparently picked Real Sociedad. Graham tweeted Connor, here we go again. Thank you, lads and lasses. This is why I love you all. Let's have a listen to what he said. Let's have a listen, and we will screenshot it. Okay, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to screenshot it, and I'm going to put it on here for you guys. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys will want to read what he said. Shout out to all of you saying Graham's just tweeted as well. Legends. Thank you so much. It just helps me update you guys as well. Where are we at? Screenshot. Bang. This is what he said. I've not read it yet. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, Werder Bremen, strong interest in Max Verber, and something could happen there. As for Lucas Perri, he's a name on the list of goalkeepers Lee's like, but just at this stage, Gabriel Gudmundsson, situation unchanged from yesterday's slight progress update. Okay, nothing really there then. Nothing really there that we can look at and grab onto in terms of content creators / Leeds fans. Nothing really there from Graham. I think a lot of the time, bless him, with Graham, he has to just keep bearing tweets, and then Graham probably thinks to himself he has to get involved with it and naturally just update the Leeds United fans who maybe aren't with Barron the Athletic. So yeah, nothing really there from what Graham said, but yeah, at least he's got the old update there when it comes to a few other bits. Cheers for that as well, everybody. Really appreciate that. If we don't get Rodrigo Muniz, what are the strikers I will link to? None yet, mate. It's gone very, very quiet, but I like the calm before the storm. I do like the calm before the storm when it comes to these things. Signing happening today, isn't it, of some description? Adam says, rumour is Perri seen walking through Leeds Bradford Airport wearing a Leeds bucket hat. McGrath tweet, Dan James, flipping it. You're working me here. You're working me. It's all the ones I like as well. McGrath, what's he saying? What's Mike saying? You are working me here, people. Is it worth it? Am I worth it? Is it worth it? Let's have a look. Okay, Leeds United have been given a huge boost, agreeing a new long-term deal ahead of the Premier League with Daniel of Jameson. Was Leeds United's Player of the Year in the Championship. Wales forward, detail of the deal and other news. Let's have a quick look just in this article to see what the details of the deal are. Okay. I am not signing up for the Telegraph. This is not happening. So let's have a look. Oh, no, right. We can't do it. I can't stand these articles when they do this. But yeah, guys, exclusive Leeds have been given a huge boost with Dan James agreeing to a new long-term deal ahead of the return to the Premier League. Welsh forward 27 was Leeds United's Player of the Year in the Championship title win. Details of the deal, and I'm sure you guys, if you are Telegraph members, you will be able to find something there. Morning, Connor. Hey, Trev, how's it going? Sad about Firpo. All gone quiet on the early interest in Peugeot. Any updates? Yeah, so I think the latest we had on Peugeot was that Leeds were once again interested. There was no consolidation when it came to a bid. The only players it feels like we've bid for, and it's maybe been knocked back, has been Rodrigo Muniz. Obviously, I think it was the first bid for Yahia. and obviously Habib Diarra. So these are the players that we've looked at and put bids in for. But Peugeot, so Peugeot, I mentioned yesterday, but this is Leeds United comments. I need to, mate. I need a life. But yeah, Peugeot is someone who, and you guys know I'm very up on Ramazani, very up on Nonto. If Peugeot comes in, those two don't get anywhere near the starting 11 for me, which is crazy coming from my mouth. Rotation, of course, in the side, but they don't get in. It just doesn't happen. Peugeot is just his next level for me. And this is what I'm talking about. You get your Anton Stat, you get your Yahia, you get your Lucas Perri, you get an Igor Peugeot, Rodrigo Muniz. You are giving yourself a genuine chance of finishing about 15th or 16th, never mind 17th. So, yeah. Okay. Baron will tweet. Yeah, he'll tweet in a second anyway, won't he, if it's Dan James. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, listen, you absolute legends. Thank you. We've got, how many are you in the building? 1,300. Make sure you slap a like before you leave. How many have we got? I'm looking at you all. How many have we got? We've got 631 likes and we've got 1,300 of you in here. Go and slap the like, everybody. Please do us an absolute solid. Just so, because we've been killed by YouTube this morning. So do us a favor. I really appreciate everybody. Slap those notification bells on, because if something happens, we will be going live. So you need to be subscribed to One Leeds as well for that to happen. You have to be subscribed as well to comment in the live live streams, to make sure you do so. Head on over to the second channel. We've got a few bits over there that you guys might be interested in. My name is Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds, and this has been the Room Mill. Thank you to all the One Leadsers, you absolute legends. Listen, you want to be part of the transfer chat? Head on over to Patreon, become part of the WhatsApp group over there. We've got bits coming over there very, very soon, Generation Leads, etc. It's been an absolute pleasure.